So this little bunch I'm wanting to cut and recut to just make them look a bit better. Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. Welcome. May God bless you all, and may you continue to experience God's love and God's blessings. So I will just show these just like this so you can see them before I do them, and next up is to try to cut and polish these so they look a bit better than they are now. So this first stone, it's got some beautiful color, a bit of a checkered sort of flagstone pattern going on there. Some beautiful multicolors, oranges, greens, blues, lots of colors. It's from Mintabie. All of these stones are from Mintabie, and this is a more bluish sort of crystal stone, dark black crystal from Mintabie. High quality material, beautiful pinfire in this one, a little bit of flagstone and pinfire. This one is razor thin flagstone pattern, razor thin color bar. I suspect that I'm going to end up losing some of that color trying to cut this stone, but it's just so uneven, it needs recutting. So here we go, about to make the first cut, about to make the first move, and I'm just trying to refine the top of the stone so that it looks a bit better than it does now. I want an even looking surface all the way across the top of the opal. If I can't get an even surface on the top of the opal, then something's definitely going wrong, because I see all these other cutters making perfect cuts and making perfect opals, and so why can't I do that? I mean, I should be able to do that, right? This is an opal cutting channel, isn't it? Wow. Let's see how I get on. It is coming up to Thanksgiving and Christmas, so enough turkey talk. Let's just look at what the next stone's going to be. Should be a multicolored stone, and it should look quite nice once it's polished. I'm hoping that it does. You just never know when you're cutting how it's exactly going to turn out. Could make a mistake. I really hope I don't make a mistake when I'm cutting. Say a little prayer before you cut, and maybe it will go a bit better than if you didn't. That's always a good tip. So here I am, just spinning the stone around and trying to keep it on the move as I go across the wheel, and shaping the top of the stone there, shaping it with maybe a little dome, a low dome. So here comes the next stone. It's a bit of a beauty. It's got some really nice oranges and blue, and it's a tiny little stone, but I'm going to cut it anyway. A lot of opal cutters, when they first start out, they are cutting in a way that is a free-formed way. I do a lot of my cutting free-formed. In fact, all of my cutting is free-formed. I have occasionally drawn out and practiced how I would do it if I don't have a template for the stone. And all that requires is a ruler and a good eye, and it just helps to get it perfectly proportioned if you actually draw it out with rulers and get your measurements exactly right, and then try to cut the stone to those measurements. Trying to cut the stone to those measurements can be quite tricky, and so a lot of hobby cutters or beginners, they never actually get to the stage of doing the calibrated stones. And I can see how intensely difficult it can be to cut calibrated stones in a perfect way. It's really not as easy as it looks, although some may do it with ease. It's not as easy. It's not as easy as it looks. It's actually pretty difficult to get it perfectly perfect on both sides, and it can take years and years of practice to get it perfectly perfect. However, freeformed, you can get some pretty good results just doing freeform. You can do it. Say a big stone you're looking at it thinking, what am I going to do with it? Well, you might be able to chuck it on a gobstick and just try to cut it into a circular shape of some type, or a oval shape, and then you could put a dome on it and take it from there. So this stone I'm naming Genesis. It's a sparkly little dopamine shifter, and he's really got some great color there. Genesis probably wouldn't even make it to 1 carat, but he has a lot of nice color. So Genesis with the pinfire, reds, greens, blues, etc., etc. This stone is a little sweetie, and it's like a little candy corn piece of a lolly. Looks like a little lolly, like a little pill. It's a beautiful little opal, and it could make a nice little ring stone or something. All of these could use a polish, of course. Okay, here's this stone. It lost quite a lot of color, as I suspected earlier. I did lose most of that color bar, so that was shocking. This one is a little bit of a crystal opal. It's got some nice little bits of color here and there on the sides. It's got a large area of potch in the middle. You can see that black potch in the middle there. And yeah, final results are in, and here they are all sitting pretty in a row. I've taken them off, and the super glue I've ground off on the back, and just used the 240 grit wheel to get rid of the super glue. Then I've used the 280 grit Nova and the 600 grit Nova to just polish them a little bit, and that's that. So hope God reveals himself to you, and God bless you. Cheers.